So the Israeli government has admitted that the military has killed two civilians that were in a building that they fired upon. Are they going to be punished for murdering civilians, or is it just going to be chalked up to, oh, they were probably human shields for Hamas or blah blah blah, collateral damage, whatever?
The tank shell has ignited a gas canister. Be careful of the gas cylinder, he says. It's going to blow up. They don't have much time, and two people are already dead. Whose wife is this, he asked. Come, let's get her out. Pull, pull. This video, obtained exclusively by Sky News, shows the immediate aftermath of an attack on an aid shelter in Gaza.
Wow, they attacked an aid shelter, a place where people are supposed to be able to go to get to be safe. So this is typical of the Israeli government to attack any place, any like UN aid shelter, UN school, any refugee camp or safe zone that has been created for Palestinians, because the Israeli government is just trying to kill as many civilians as possible.
Two women were killed. 7 people were injured, including twin babies and 2 teenage girls whose faces were badly burned. All but one were from the same family. We've analysed troves of imagery, spoke to witnesses, and teamed up with weapons experts to study the blast damage and piece together how the incident unfolded. In response to our investigation, the Israeli military has now admitted that it did fire at a building where, it says, terror activity was occurring and that civilians were killed. And that could...
That's their justification for attacking any place. Oh, terror activity was there. What does that even mean, though?
be a war crime, because it was clearly occupied by the international aid group Médecins Sans Frontières, or MSF. It's in a sparsely populated area in Al-Mawasi in southern Gaza. More than 60 people, including aid workers and their families, were sheltering in the building when it was hit. We couldn't independently verify exactly where the projectile was fired from, but witnesses told us the tanks came from the south and drove up north. Damage on the building showed the shelter was hit on its southern side.
And we're supposed to believe that the IDF are the good guys here when they're killing civilians and attacking aid shelters? Like, the good guys don't... Like, what does terror activities mean when, a kid throwing a stone is considered a terrorist for throwing a stone?
Here we can see clearly that it went through a first-floor window. We put our findings to weapons analysts to understand what the damage can tell us about the attack. They said that whatever came through the window detonated as it hit the ceiling or exploded just below. The impact on the wall next to the window suggests it was blown outwards. One munitions expert said the damage is consistent with that of a tank shell. A collection of fragments was found in the room the projectile was fired into. Our analysts confirmed these are clearly fragments from the body of a high-caliber tank shell. One of the witnesses nearby when the attack happened said he saw a big light appear when the building was first hit and heard gunfire. Tanks driving by left a cloud of dust in their wake.
So, people murdering civilians with tanks are the good guys, and kids throwing stones are the bad here, not terrorists.
MSF told us that Israeli authorities knew of the shelter's whereabouts.
We notified the GPS coordinates to the Israeli army to say this is a medical structure. Israel has reconfirmed that they had the coordinates of this building.
We put all those allegations...
That was probably their first mistake, telling the Israeli government that they're a UN aid shelter, because that would just give government the incentive to go murder people because they know they won't be able to defend themselves. The Israeli government loves murdering defenseless people. That's why the IDF goes into Gaza and murders people.
To the IDF, who gave us this statement. During operational activity in Khan Yunis, the IDF forces fired at a building that was identified as a building where terror activity is occurring. After the incident, reports were received of the death of 2 uninvolved civilians in the area. The IDF regrets any harm to civilians and does everything in its power to operate in a precise and accurate manner in the combat field.